Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call halal Yahweh, Shimei Amashab, Shimei Kakadash. Of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who continue through the Holy Spirit to provide us His truth. All right, this is now out of the DC camp. And wow, this article here, see, it's underhanded uh, sight games like this. All right, because it's clear what they're trying to um, initiate here, and that's having the uh, vaccinated come against the unvaccinated. All right. This is from the Atlantic, and it says vaccinated America has had enough, as if the others on the flip side haven't, because we realize, at least the vast majority, well, I won't say vast majority, enough of us realize what the hell is going on. All right. The games that are being played, all right, and how they're trying to manipulate the people to get this toxin in their bodies. All right. And you have to wonder, how is it that an adult could be so easily manipulated, supposing with all this education, all right, which shows you this, it's not much to that, all right. For some reason, my camera, so I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, I'll continue. Uh, because they brag about being educated, you know, especially these Edomites, um, and yet they're the first ones to rush down there and get something put in your body that you have no idea what the long-term effects are going to be. That's not by any stretch of the definition of being intelligent, all right, nowhere near. And yet you want to criticize the people saying, wait, hold on, this is permanent. So wait a minute, let's just step back. Why the rush? But again, this was set up to where you people have been inconvenienced to the point where you want to get back to your little mundane lives and you're not thinking rationally. All right. People that drop dead, what do they say? They had underlying conditions. Well, no, because in the year 15, 16 months since this all started, they found out people perfectly healthy, teenagers as of late, uh, have taken this thing and boom, gone out of here. So they tell these lies, they give these excuses because, again, people, they know that they were out of work. Got a lot of people that, oh, that's something to still consider too, because you've got this um, huge backlog, all right, of people that otherwise would have been out on the street, but because of the, paperwork filed in the courts and all this, uh, they put a freeze on that. But these landlords are tired, all right. So, and the thing, see, this is the real scary part of this coming up here in the next few months. These devils, I guarantee you, because Jake, now in the warm months, you can deal with a lot more shit, and you're more apt to, like, fuck it, I can deal with it. But when it gets cold outside, I can guarantee you, you're gonna have another surge. You're gonna have some more lockdowns, And people are really going to fucking lose it because you having protests out here now overseas where people got some balls, all right, and they are really truly tired of this shit because they see the scam for what it is, a scam. All right, it's a sham, it's a scam, it's bullshit because there's an agenda here, folks. All right, and this is all connected with the 5G, this new world order. Because hey, these devils, these so-called white people, the Edomites of the Bible, they know they got a short time. All right, they're seeing the chariots of the Most High, all these sightings to where the government was forced to tell you, yeah, there is a such thing as so-called UFOs. Though we know what they are. They're not unidentified. All right. So, yeah, things, it's coming down here to the wire, folks. You got to, oh, I knew what I was going to get. This is why we out here, we stress. Let's see. All right. Being, um, having your head on a swivel. All right. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. This heading here says, the day of the Lord. Verse 1, it says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know it perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. See, they're telling you all these things you want to hear now. All right. You know, for a while now, they lifted the restrictions. You got to go back and have a glimpse of how it used to be, how you might want it to be again. All right, so now people are even more antsy. Now they're blaming it. Well, it's those people that haven't taken the shot. If they would, damn it, if they would just take it and shut the hell up. But see, this is the craziness of that thing, because what they're really saying is, you know, if you die, you die. Fuck you. I can get back on with my life, because you really are playing Russian roulette. All right, verse 4, it says, but ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief, because you watch as well as pray. All right? If you know you got a report that there's been a rash of robberies in your neighborhood, you're going to look out. That thief, more than likely, is not going to be able to take you by surprise. All right? Same thing here. Watch as well as pray. There's going to be signs, all right, before the Lord's return. All right, it says 5. Ye are the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, verse 6, therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. 7, for they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. 8, but let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. All right, the hope of salvation, and that's the mindset you have to be in here. If you're not, if you want to stay in this piece of shit, filthy ass kingdom, all right, they're forcing your kids to listen to these trannies coming to your classroom. All right, you don't have any say so in this. Now they want to force this vaccine, this deadly toxin in your body. All right, they use something that's not more potent than a common cold to conquer the world. These people are deaf, dumb, and blind. This is Isaiah chapter 50. Let's see if this is what I want. Nope, it's 51. Slocking. This is Isaiah chapter 51. Slocking. All right. This is the mindset you have to be in. Verse 14, it says, the captive exile, which we are, hasteneth that he may be loosed. In other words, you want to get the hell up out of here. Fuck this place. And that he should not die in the pit. And this is a pit. This system is a pit for us. Nor that his bread should fail. This is the type of mindset. I want this shit collapsed yesterday. If we send up these prayers, all right? And here's the thing, it says life could return nearly to normal. Let me read this. In the United States, this pandemic could have been over by now, and certainly would have been by Labor Day if the pace of the vaccinations through the summer had been anything like the pace in April and May. The country could be nearing herd immunity. It goes at herd immunity. It goes at bullshit. All right. And it says life could return nearly to normal, which we know is all BS. All right. It says experts list many reasons for the vaccine slump. All right. And they got 3 reasons: conservative, evangelical, and rural Americans. And they're going into this Donald Trump BS. All right. And then they give you these sob stories. It says reading about the fates of people who refused the vaccine is sorrowful, but as summer camp and travel plans are disrupted, as local authorities reimpose mask mandates that could have been laid aside, many in the vaccinated majority must be thinking, yes. And here's the thing, listen to this. Yes, I'm very sorry that so many of the unvaccinated are suffering the consequences of their bad decisions. I'm also very sorry that the responsible rest of us are suffering the consequences of their bad decisions. As cases uptick again, as people who have done the right thing face the consequences of other people doing the wrong thing, the question occurs. And they're getting on Biden and all this, which I kept telling people they had to get Trump up out of there because Trump at heart was a business and still is a businessman. All right. I mean, they're playing these people like against each other. I mean, it is just working beautifully. All right. Then they go into Florida's governor's Ron DeSantis. All right, and talking about him and how they want to use the same program like they have down there, where you have to take a drug test in order to get like welfare and shit like this. So they want to use an offshoot of that idea. All right, and I'm telling you, people, things are going to get really shitty here. All right, because there's no reason for this shit other than to control the people. That's why you have your mask on. They want to know if you're going to do what they tell you to do. Those masks are not going to, see, this is where education comes in. All right, and just simply, if you're not, just ask fucking questions. A virus is so small, that mask, you might as well not have it on at all. All right, that's just the way it is. Let's see. And then the question, can governments lawfully require more public health cooperation from their populations? They regularly do for other causes, and it goes into, I told you about the welfare, all right? And here it is. It says, the Biden administration could require proof of vaccination to fly or to travel by interstate train or bus. It could mandate that federal contractors demonstrate that their workforces are vaccinated. It could condition federal student loans on proof. You see, that also understand the hypocrisy of this shit. All of my life, supposedly this is how you know it's coming from on higher. See, the average ignorant, stupid, dumb American just thinks about the politicians as being the high authority. No. The elite banking families who call themselves Jews, they run this world. All right, this is coming from them. All right, because these, when you think of Psalm 73rd chapter, when you think of Job 20th chapter and 21st chapter, these are these wicked elite motherfuckers. All right, these are the wicked. All right, it says it could condition federal student loans on proof of vaccination. Those measures might or might not be wise policy. Inducements, which another word for that would be these incentives, all right, are usually more effective at changing individual behavior than penalties are. But they would be feasible and legal, and they will spread the message about what people ought to do in the same way that sanctions against drunk driving, cheating on taxes, and unjust discrimination in the workplace do. So here we are, you have to recondition the population, so to speak. All right, re-educate. And I'm sure there's, now that I said that, a lot of people are thinking of like relocating people that choose not to get this poison to separate them from everybody else, supposedly. Supposedly that's going to make a difference. But, see, here's the thing. Like I said, there's no studies on the long-term effects of this shit. And I'm reminded of Revelation 16th chapter, I think it's verse 2, where it talks about that, let me see that real quick. That grievous sore. Let's see. Yeah, it says 6 bowls of wrath. All right, now we know in Revelation 13, 16, and 17, it talks about the mark. All right, and we know that that Greek word there is charagma, which means an insertion, a cut in the flesh. All right, so this is what's coming next. This Maxine is just getting you prepared for that. All right, so this is verse 2, and it says, "And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image." Now that image there, it's talking about his ways, his buying into his philosophy, his doctrine. That's the image that it's talking about. There's not talking about like a picture. All right. And this is what certainly the Lord is coming back to destroy. When you think of the EU, the European Union, NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, all that, the CFR, what is that? Center for Foreign Relations. All these are some wicked individuals. These are people that represent the very elite, the wicked of this world. And that's their agenda that they're pushing forth. All right. So that's that beast system is what's got to be destroyed. All right. So because you're not going to have, as it says in Revelation 19, I believe it is. Let's see. About the Lord wearing many crowns. That's what he's coming back to do. Can't have two kings ruling at the same time. All right. Now, here's some more. Again, pay attention to the wording. But there's no getting around the truth that some considerable number of the unvaccinated are also behaving willfully and spitefully. Yes, they have been deceived and manipulated by garbage TV, toxic Facebook content, and craven or crazy politicians. But these are the same people who keep talking about personal responsibility. In the end, the unvaccinated person himself or herself has decided to inflict a preventable and unjustifiable harm upon family, friends, neighbors, community, country. You're supposing that these people are infected. That's dangerous. So what this article is telling me, and what some are believing, just because a person doesn't want to get it, they're not. That's why you can tell this is an agenda. All right. First of all, you take that, which we know now isn't even a cotton swab, and you want to insert it up my nose when What does that have to do with anything? You're saying my saliva is infectious, so why do you have to go all the way up my nose? It's all kinds of bullshit people work and probably still aren't paying attention to. Shit just doesn't add up. All right? Don't hate on me because you don't see these things. And that's what's happened. A lot of this is a result of that. They are so used to taking the word of the so-called white man as if he were the Most High, which we know he's trying to be. All right? That they want to please them so bad in the end that they're not taking the time to think, well, wait a minute, this motherfucker has been my enemy. This motherfucker drove me over here butt ass naked, all right, and made me build his country up. He's lied to me about who I really am and everything else, and yet you want me to just put this toxin in my body that I know people are dropping dead from? Wow. That's why I don't talk to motherfuckers, because you got, this shit is just, this is like being in a bizarro world or something. It's like you're in a old Twilight Zone episode. You never thought for, at least you, until recent years, that people could be so fucking stupid and ignorant and just do shit out of blind fear. Anyway, so with that, yeah, I didn't, I don't take too much time on this. This is like, but yeah, when we go into Second Ezra's 15th chapter, where it talks about, well, let me get it right quick. Second Ezra's, where it talks about there's not going to be any respect for, whoops, 15, for the princes, and well, let me read it verbatim. This is Second Ezra's 15 and 14, where Ezra's, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. The modern day sword is what? The gun. For there shall be sedition among men, and now you understand why. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Quarantine. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right? So this is where, before this summer's out, or at the latest, when it starts to get cold here, you're going to see these devils take it up a level. All right? Hey, so with that, once again, I hope whoever views this has been edified. That's what we aim to do here at Great Millstone, GMS. All right? And this is all, of course, in what we do, and this is trying to wake up the remaining hopeful elect, so we can get the hell up out of here. Hey, so with that, hey, shalom, shalom.